Yeah. So what we're just talking about, listeners, is how when we are trying to be authentic and honest and open with people, there's my dog scratching her head. The sound of a dog, she's still scratching. She's on like 800th scratch. When we are authentic and honest and open with people and having to say things like, thank you, but no thank you. It was nice getting to know you. I think I'm going to pursue getting to know someone else, and how the stress response the physiological stress response, you cannot avoid that.
Yeah. I love that you said that. I've been thinking about this a lot because, sure, you can say, well, we're in the dating game and everybody knows how things are played. Sure, we do. And cognitively, that's a reality. But if we have any empathy at all, like unless we're just cold-hearted bitches, we're going to have a stress response of some kind, whether it's related to not wanting to hurt another person or feeling like when we've had to say no in the past, we've been rejected.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like you gave me an extra look when you said cold-hearted bitches. No, I think it's like our logic says, look, better to nip this in the bud. He'd rather know that you're not interested now. It's a hard message to send. That's all of logic. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if part of it, we can explore this because I feel like I'm interjecting and you have more to say, is just that wiring to make sure we're accommodating and pleasing and getting approval from people. And the moment we say to them, hey, I'm not interested in you anymore, we feel like we've somehow done something wrong.
Yeah. Okay. Now I'm going to try to articulate this. This is new thoughts. So we'll see how this goes.
Okay.
I was listening to this webinar by this guy. I got to throw in a spiritual teacher, air quotes, of mine, who was talking about the ego and how we begin with some kind of experience. It could be pre-verbal, and then that experience turns into a belief, and then that belief can turn into like physical symptoms. And then if we act on that belief, if we behave from that belief, then it strengthens that belief. And
like a snowball effect.
Yeah. And so totally. And so I'm just wondering though, so let me talk this through. So if I have to say to somebody, you know what, I don't think this is, it was really nice getting to know you, which is the truth, but I don't think this can go any further. I'm not acting from that belief, but, this is what I wanted to say. You said to me earlier before we turned on the mics, those somatics and feelings are the same thing. Those experiences that you have to work through those. So the idea that this guy was talking about was that if you ignored them, those sensation, or you distracted,
or avoid
it, distracted, blah, 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 then it gets pushed underground into your subconscious. And then that is what strengthens the ego, which I hate.
Absolutely.
But anyway. But so I think the awareness of, oh my God, my heart is pounding right now. And maybe it's because it's hard for me to say no to a person. Maybe it doesn't even matter why. Maybe
I don't think it does. Yeah.
You just go, oh, wow, that's
like little things I completely agree with you. And when you've been wired to like, oh, I need to be lovable.
Yeah.
Do they love me? Am I getting enough love? To actually hold up the hand and go, oh, I don't actually want your love, just goes against all the wiring.
Totally.
And the other thing I was thinking, like even the littlest things, like being able to say to your partner, hey, your breath smells. Can you brush your teeth? Like, I've never been able to do just the little, you gotta look at this.
I'm like, oh my God.
I know.
I don't know if I could ever say that.
I know.
Whoa.
I know. Yeah. I did manage in the last year or so, like, hey, do you mind brushing your teeth? And I remember obviously it's Jim. He's the only guy that's been in my past, but he laughed. He's like, he was glad I said something.
Yeah.
Because usually I just sort of try and turn my head and get my nose in it. Sometimes I'll put my hand up to actually create a barrier so the air is, like, this is like you're in bed in the morning, just hanging out.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, But it's funny, all those funny little things like, hey, and then, imagine saying, I don't actually you want me and I don't want you.
Right. That is, because if we think about, oh God, I don't want to go back to childhood, but we'll just say here's an imaginary childhood of somebody that somebody could have had where maybe their mother was hot and cold. And so when their mother was warm, they took the love. They never wanted to miss a chance to get the love.
Absolutely.
So then missing a chance, even if it's somebody that they, are thinking, I don't think this is going to work, but it is okay.
Yeah.
And these are not real stories, by the way, from my dating experience, just in case anybody's listening. These are just things that have come up in my mind thinking about it.
And I think, all mothers are not always, hot and cold. Like hot and cold those are more extremes, but all mothers are not available all the time.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I think if you expand it to, like, we learn to get what we need. We learn to get the love we need. And I like what you're saying. Let's not make this into childhood. But the problem is,
it's from the childhood.
How do we learn love? By being born and loved.
Yeah.
And however our parents do it, and they are doing their best. I am convinced of that. Even the ones who, are broken.
Yeah, for sure.
But we still have to, especially older single people, I think more than anyone else, I think in our 20s and 30s, we are kind of clueless. We're kind of following our impulses more, our attractions, and we're kind of falling into relationships.
Yeah.
But I think this conscientiousness that we seem to develop in our later years.
We choose to.
Should we choose to?
Yeah.
And also because we're not looking to make children or buy houses or invest or, we're just wanting.
I want to go through IVF and have triplets.
Oh, you'll be like the Carmen Diaz. Cameron Diaz.
No, by the
she
way,
just said she has to live till 102 because she just had a baby at like 51 or something like that. 52.
Yeah. I think she did. I think it was surrogate. Yeah, no, I'm joking.
Oh, so by the way, hello everybody.
Oh.
Angela did decide to start dating online, and she has.
Tomorrow will be the 3-week anniversary of opening the Hinge profile.
I love it.
Let's drink to, I don't know. But what I realized I put on my profile, and I realized it was wrong, was I said, don't have children, open to children. But what I meant was, if you have children, I'm not against it. But I realized there was a possibility for me to say, don't have children, don't want children. So people.
I don't. Yeah, to me, neither of them are accurate.
She's 55. This woman is delusional.
Well, I've thought about that because I think we were sort of hesitating and deciding what you should put there, and I'd be really curious because, like, how do people interpret that? Like, so this is on a dating app where you put whether you have children or not, or whether you want children or not. And obviously, if you're 30, that very much makes sense. Yeah. But when you're in your 50s and you're there's obviously going to be a lot of guys out there with children. So you don't want to say, no, I don't want anything to do with you and your kids. Like, to me, it's kind of messed up a bit. But
well, one thing I wanted to tell you, you know how I put I love cats. Yes. And you were like, oh, you really want to put that? Well, there's been several people who have said, how many cats do you have?
Okay, so I want to unpack this. And so here we go, listeners. Angela's on a dating app with prompts, and some of the questions are, they have all these different questions like first date and, what I'm doing on the weekend. And I think it was the key to my heart is.
Or something like, if we agree on this, we've got something, we agree on any of these 3 things. Do we agree? Yeah. Do we match on any of these things?
Yeah. So it was like 3 points, and Angela put, I love cats, I love cats. I love cats. Which is like pretty cat lady-ish. Like, honestly.
It's full on cat lady.
It's full on cat lady-ish. And it was partly in response because when we were going through the men's profiles, okay, men, if you're online dating, let us tell you what not to put on your profile. Quit putting pictures of you with your dogs. Like, seriously. Like, I mean this kindly. Like, love your dog. Mention your dog. Have a dog. But these pictures with dogs, they turn me off, and I love dogs. I have a dog, but I feel like they're either saying like, you don't come between me and my dog. Not that they mean to be saying that, or they're trying to make themselves look like a better person than they are. Like, I just don't like the dog pictures. Anyway, that's why she put it up.
Okay. Well, but here's another thing. Okay. So I don't mind dog pictures if it's not the first picture. I mean, how judgmental.
And his arm isn't around the dog. Like, I just hate that arm around the dog picture. The guy's always like down. Like, I just, okay, I know I'm being mean, and I'm worried that Angela's going to have some fans listening.
Me. I'm not sure it totally represents my opinion about dog pictures. I think that I wanted to say, I love cats, I love cats, I love cats. Not because I wanted to somehow like one up the guys with their arms.
No, for sure.
It was more because I thought, I really love my cat, and I should probably weed out people that don't like cats. That's totally what I thought. This is like, I thought, this is authentic. It might sound like I'm a crazed cat lady, but it's me being me, and maybe it was too early.
No.
But I just decided to throw it because I was just being silly that night. I wasn't overthinking what pictures
exactly.
I wasn't overthinking what I said. I was just like, I love cats. And I'm just telling you, people wanted to confirm how many cats.
Well, and this is the thing. If you know Angela, like, I so knew her humor, and I knew exactly what you meant, Angela. You were like, and I wish I could be your tone of voice. Like, the first point would be, I love cats. And the second would be, I love cats. And the third, like, it was just funny. And knowing your humor, I totally understood the humor. But I was thinking, there are guys out there that would be like, whoa, arm's length, back away slowly. But that's okay. You don't want those guys.
Yeah, come on.
So
you can't take 7 cats in a one-room apartment, which is not.
And honestly, I have dated guys with dog pictures, like, because I don't believe in.
And you have a dog.
I don't judge the dog pictures in lines of like, if I'm getting a vibe and chatting. I mean, it's been a long time since I've online dated. I'm not doing it right now, so I just want to make that clear. But I do think that men don't recognize what women are interested in seeing in their profiles. To me, what I want to see is, what do you look like? How are you dressing? You know, kind of shape and size in general.
Yeah.
I don't need to see pictures of you with dogs and sport cars. A lot of guys put their vehicles in the profiles too. And I think it's like, those are things that are important to them. And I think that is, I know I'm generalizing, but that's kind of how the male brain works.
It does. It really shows you like how different we are.
Yeah.
You know?
But women never put pictures of their cars up. And women never put pictures. Well, I don't know if did you put a picture? Let's put a picture of Sal, your cat.
I'm going to be kissing him on the lips, I think. Or spooning him. We did that yesterday.
Oh my God.
No, I mean, honestly, people are doing the best that they can. And I did notice that there were a lot of men where part of their heads were cut off. And had you not been helping me, I would have put a picture like that where my head was cut off. I didn't know how to align it correctly on the thing. And what else do I have to say about that? Because I feel kind of mean a little bit.
Oh, I don't mean, I mean this very, very compassionately. I think it's a lot harder in general for men to compile photos. I also know that, even myself these days, it's not that often you necessarily, when you're single, you take a lot of pictures of yourself.
Yeah.
And so then like finding a picture that looks like you having fun, an authentic moment, and not, like, for me, I have a lot of pictures like that with other people, So it is, profiles are hard.
Like the guys that take the gym selfies or like the shirtless selfies, immediately it doesn't matter if they look incredible.
Yeah.
I'm just like
Interesting. So I don't actually, and even all jokes aside, after the dog stuff, I actually don't X any of that stuff. But I now have something to filter because, well, Jim used to send me selfies of him when he'd go to the gym, and he had one. He had one on his profile. Okay. I think it's a very common thing. Guys, like, there's a mirror, they're working out, they're feeling good, and so I do try to have compassion for that, because the compassionate messages, I think, for a lot of people, especially the right kind of people, they don't have photos like on their phones, and they don't know what to put up there and what the best things are, and they don't have a friend. I actually know I think there are services that help you create profiles, so some people do that. And then, of course, I think I've known men that had a female friend help them, which I highly advise male listeners out there. Well, okay. Have a girl check out your profile that and
I discovered something that I realized is sexy to me. Okay. I just discovered this today. I realized. Okay, I'm going to share. I find it sexy when a guy does not flirt right away.
Absolutely. He's being a gentleman for sure.
Yeah, and that's slower burn thing and the respect. And I didn't realize that because I haven't dated. I've never had this kind of meet and greety, datey thing.
Yeah. It's a ride, isn't it? It's easy to get swept away.
Wow. And so I'm noticing things about myself like, okay, I don't actually want somebody to tell me, oh my God, you're amazing, blah, 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 because it comes across as an authentic or intimacy too soon. Hey, but I'm not saying I don't like to be complimented. I just mean like,
compliments and flirts are two different things.
Yeah.
First of all, if a person is liking your photo, that's already the compliment.
Right.
And then the chit chat, like even in the chit chat, like, gee, you look really beautiful in your photos. That's not flirting to me necessarily. The flirt is more like, can I get a close up of that? Like, I don't know, some kind of a comment about, what did I have one guy, like well, this might seem cheesy to you, but I had a profile where I had recently gone swimming in a mountain lake. Mm-hmm. And so when I'm out hiking, I will just strip down to my underwear.
Yeah.
And go for a swim. And I don't know if sports, sports bras, like they cover more than a bikini, mm-hmm. And so I remember putting a picture of myself with the, swimming in the lake. It was kind of a blurry picture, but it was my way of saying, this is who I am. I like to do fun things like this. And I remember some guy was like, I tried to zoom in to see if you had a bathing suit on or something like that. And I was just like, ugh. Yeah.
I don't think I could do it for I was thinking, I think I said, I'm going to do this for 1 month and who knows where it will go. It might go somewhere really nice with somebody or it might not, but either way, well, if it goes really well, obviously in a month, I would hope that I wouldn't be on the app. I don't know how these things work. The point is, after a month, I'm going to be off the app. Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's...
And you'll regroup. I think that's a really good idea, that no matter what happens, that you step away and you give especially like you're going to be very, very busy soon.
Yeah.
And so just giving yourself a little mental space for a while to focus on going back to work full time and, mm-hmm. And then see how you feel. Like when you're as busy as you are, mm-hmm. what are you looking for?
Yeah.
And you may be like, so give us the report. So how many people have you met?
I've met 4 people, but I've chatted, including those 4 people, with maybe 8.
Cool.
Yeah.
And of the 4, you have weeded out all but 1, correct?
Correct. I've met 4 people, chatted with 8. Going on a 3rd date tonight.
Fun.
Nice. Have fun. And I get to buy some new clothing.
I love it.
Yeah.
So a couple things. First of all, welcome to the podcast. This is How Do You Do Love with Mag and Ange. I'm Mag, also known as Margaret Dahlberg, and
I'm Angela, also known as Margaret Dahlberg's friend.
yes, that's how we all talk about you, Margaret Dahlberg's friend. Angela Kavar is your name, and
What is my given name?
is your given name.
Can we talk about my name though? Because we do it every podcast. So I want it to be a thing. Okay. So it was my given name. However,
Why did your parents name you Angela?
Oh, because sorry, because my mom said, you know, I'm laughing. My mom said that she had a friend named Angela who was really funny, had a great sense of humor, and she wanted me to have a great sense of humor, which sometimes.
What happened there?
Exactly. That's what we're all asking ourselves.
Oh, no, I think she was right. It's a perfect name for you. Okay, a couple things I don't want to forget. One thing I don't want to forget. Okay, I just need to make this disclaimer. I'm not sexually numb. But I liked that segment so much I wanted to keep it in there. But I have a bad attitude about relationships right now. So that's my first disclaimer. And then the other thing was, Angela, you sent me a video that I realized I still haven't watched, but we wanted to talk about gaslighting because you told me, like, you sent me something and you said that gaslighting isn't what you'd always thought it was. And
okay, I gotta think about this.
Gaslighting to me is when you tell someone they're feeling, or you tell someone something that they are not, or like if someone says, "Did you hear that noise?" and you say, "No, there was." What do you mean? There was no noise there.
Exactly.
But if someone says, like, say my friend was being really unpleasant to me, did you hear what they said? And then the partner says, no, they weren't. That was, you were taking it too personally, or something like that. Gaslighting.
That's gaslighting. I mean, it depends what the
context.
The context, and oh yeah, and I think you can feel it when you're being gaslit.
Yeah.
But it does come from that play. Movie gas.
Yeah, I saw the play.
Yeah.
I saw the play.
Yeah, you saw the play. Yeah.
I remember, and I didn't know much about gaslighting, but I do have an experience I can talk about. I was having a very challenging conversation with someone where we had a big difference of opinion. And like, I was trying to have a productive conversation about the fact that we were just so different. And I was trying to get this person to kind of see my side of things. And I remember they said to me, Margaret, you just are not happy. You're just not happy. There's a lot going on in your life. And I remember as they said that to me, I started to feel really bad about myself. And I was like, they're right. But there was also a little voice in the back of my head going, what are they talking about? This isn't true. And yet they were a good friend. I completely succumbed to what they were saying. Mm-hmm. And then I remember, we hung up after, we sorted, I don't know how much we resolved, but we got, past it in some way, shape or form. And afterwards, I just remembered feeling so gross because I was like, what are they talking about? Like, I actually feel like, sure, I've got some challenging things in my life that I don't feel good about at times, and I turn to them for support. Mm-hmm. But I feel like my day-to-day life and interactions with people is coming from a place of happiness, contentment, whatever you want to call it. Mm-hmm. And so that to me was profound gaslighting. Yeah. Like major. And I remember how awful it felt.
And also what goes along with that is, and maybe it's one and the same, is somebody who would say that to you, you're just not, is somebody with a lack of a certain kind of intelligence, emotional intelligence, sensitivity. Like anybody, that would never be there's never a time where that would be an okay thing to say to anybody.
Yes.
So just take that. Doesn't even matter, label it what you will.
Yeah.
That is not a kind or helpful thing to say.
For sure.
Or not like telling somebody what their experience is and blah. Blah.
Yeah. But that is you just summed it up. When you tell someone what their experience is, when you think it's your place to tell someone what their experience is, unless you're reframing what they've just said to you or reflecting, you know. And of course, like they could have said, Margaret, I look at you and I worry that maybe you're not happy. But I just remember it just felt so weird. Anyway, so gaslighting. So that was something we talking about. So I've certainly had many moments where I've been gaslit by my partner when I'm sharing with them my upset, my concerns, and they're telling me it was my imagination or it wasn't what I'm seeing is not how it is or whatever.
For sure.
But there's a fine line, right?
Well, I think this is where your upbringing comes into play, because if you were, and I think it's hard, I think maybe people are raising children more so now to develop this sense of trusting their own instinct. But if you grew up not having that developed, which is not because the parents were horrible, but that's just not what we did, then you are more vulnerable to that, because a person can see, we know so much without, and it's not because they're a narcissist and they have special gifts to see, but we see what other people are capable of, how we can manipulate people in good and bad ways. And manipulate isn't always a bad thing, like it has a bad rap, that word, but how we can influence them. Let's use that. Manipulate is a bad word. We can see how we can influence somebody. So if there's somebody that grew up not totally trusting their gut, then that person can easily
because
throw that in there.
They're vulnerable to that uncertainty, and then you can kind of see that as you're in. Yeah. I've seen that in action in so many ways. Probably been more on the gaslighting side than the gaslight lit side.
Okay, you as the gaslighter.
I think probably not by consciousness or by choice, but
unconscious.
I remember when my son was younger, and he was the one who started when I became privy to the term gaslighting, because he would accuse me of gaslighting, and I'd be like, I'm not even sure what that is. And I remembered looking it up and realizing that I wasn't gaslighting him, but because he was so insecure about where he was at the time, he felt like I couldn't even share my perspective with the proper language. So if you go back to that conversation with the person I was telling you about, if I said to him, I am worried that you're not very happy right now, he would then take that as gaslighting. You're telling me I'm not happy.
I mean, I don't know if all of this terminology that's come about, this psychological terminology, is helpful. It almost.
Yes, that's a very good point.
Go back to
you're putting words in my mouth.
The old fashioned. That's not true. Like you're not being kind, and you're not being sensitive.
And you're not granting me autonomy.
Whether we have to call it gaslighting or whatever, because then I don't know. We end up putting people in these groups and these clumps, and then
everyone points. Gaslighting,
narcissist. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I want us to go back to the old fashioned. If you have nothing nice to say, or if you need to say something that's not nice, really think of a way that it doesn't destroy. You don't have to destroy somebody to be truthful. Maybe you do sometimes.
Which is, in general. It's interesting. A nice circle back. Like you kind of circled back to how we first started. Like if you have to say something to someone. Right. And I think it's so good when you have something to share with someone to share that it's hard to share. That's really good too. Like, I'm really uncomfortable saying this,
Yeah.
without, I feel like an ass.
Without making it seem like they have to comfort you for
exactly. I'm a terrible person. I'm so sorry. I'm crying because
please forgive me. I'm awful. But yeah. Oh, yeah.
Go.
Okay. Well, early on in the online chit chats, there was a guy that I was chit chatting with, and he was quite a bit younger, and I was like, this is probably silly, but we had some nice chats. And then I didn't hear from him for a while, and I was like, that's fine. He's probably found somebody more age appropriate. But then I got this text from him saying, hey, it was really nice to get to know you. You seem like an awesome person, and I've found somebody off the app that I'm pursuing, but I hope you have a great summer. I was like, wow,
that is so nice.
That says so much about a human.
Yeah.
And I was like, phew.
Well, and that was a terrible. Did you hear my laugh? That sounded very disingenuous. Well, what I love is like, and the experiences you've had where you have said to people, I'm going to pursue getting to know someone else. People are being like it seems like the good ones are like, well, I'm disappointed. And, if you change your mind, let me know. Like, because I think it's their way of saying like, you're worth pursuing to me, and I'm not in a hurry. And that's kind of what we want to hear a little bit, I think.
Well, it's a very mature
and realistic.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if somebody was like, oh, geez, have a nice life or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I said to the guy that let me know easily, I said, wow, what a thoughtful text. You have a great summer too.
Nice. I love it. Well, you're having fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm having fun, and I'm learning about myself, and I'm learning about what I enjoy, what I think I need as like baseline things. Humor. Yes. Mutual interest in music. Yes. And attraction. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't want to, if I'm not attracted to somebody, I know people argue against this. This is okay. I want people to talk to phone in about this. The hotline.
Yeah, we're turning on our lines. Our lines are open.
Beep, 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 the button. I press the button. Do you think that if a man is really nice and funny, maybe witty, all the things, but you don't find them attractive, should you go on more dates with them? That's what people have told me.
When? Like, how many dates do you go on before you say no?
And I have said, I've said, don't go on any more dates, because I've just decided to go with my instinct.
I think you're smart. I think you're right. Like, I need to feel a zing. That zing, like that attraction needs to be there. And I feel like if you're not attracted to them, and this is the question you're asking, is at what point do you know?
I think you know right away.
I think there are a lot of people who'd say right away. But there is apparently a book out there, The Haystack or The Needle in the Haystack, that says you need to give it 3 dates before you draw that conclusion. I don't know. I'd be curious.
I'm not talking about like, oh my God, like I'm just going to start.
Oh, it's a zing. It's a zing.
It's like that's me purring. A little purr.
Can it be a zing? You don't like my term zing? You want yeah. It's a little energetic.
It's energetic.
An energetic boost of some sort in our physical selves.
On the chakras.
Yeah, when we are connecting with someone. And I do feel like, I mean,
our body's wisdom. I think so.
I've been privy, I've been privy to my own zings my whole life, and it's either there or it's not.
Yeah.
And so, my question would be is if you clearly don't feel attracted to them, then why are you, like, what is it you're wanting from them? Because to me, that just feels, I don't know. I feel like you're setting yourself up for
here's another
an unhappy relationship.
You can feel a zing and also not have anything in common, in which case you have to use your discernment, which is, that was a nice zing, but no, we have nothing in common.
Yeah, because you need the unity of you
to-
need to unite left, right brain, animal, lizard brain, and logic. Like you have to, everything has to align.
Well,
That's called presence, right?
I mean, I think it does for me now. Maybe it didn't.
No, me neither.
It doesn't matter.
No, like because it can become a drug. Like if you, I remember this, like you feel the zing.
Yeah.
And then, so every time you see their name pop up in the text, you zing.
Yeah.
And then, so you answer them right back, zing. And the zing gets bigger. And then they answer you back, zing, zing. And the next thing you know, you're completely immersed in this cloud of excitement and attraction.
Yeah.
And you just keep feeding that.
Yeah.
And you're not necessarily thinking straight, right?
Yeah.
Like, and,
but you, okay, let me just say this. No matter how much work you have put in, the body, we are animals, and where we can have awareness around it, but those feelings, those zings, those brrs, are so basic and primal.
they are, yeah.
They're just like, whoa, okie dokie.
I love it. Yeah, and we do need both. We need the CV. So you got the humor part. They're funny. What else?
Like music. Enjoy music.
Right, the music thing.
Intelligent. Somebody intelligent.
Intelligent, conversationalist, like all that stuff.
Kind.
Yeah.
Definitely kind. Oh my God. Sorry, that's number one.
Oh, here's a funny story, listeners. So Angela's met 4 people. And I know 2 of them, like personally from my past career stuff. Is that not, if anybody's online dated, you'll know, like there's a big pool to choose from. And the fact that they were actually from the first 3, I knew 2 of them.
Yeah.
And that was like crazy.
God. Yeah. Please don't know any of these people.
Yeah. It changed things when you learned that I knew them.
It did. It made me more open to meeting them for some reason. But you know what? That first date was really difficult for me. And then the second one, I just...
You meet and greet. By date, you mean meet and greet?
Yeah. Well, I felt so much... I just felt, okay, I want to have fun, you know?
Yeah. What we noticed, Angela and I, in talking about this is the neat thing. It was kind of like you got to wear your little water wings with your first one because Margaret knew this person.
Right.
So he's going to be on good behavior and she's going to be, and not well enough. Like I'm not in touch with these people at all. I've crossed paths with them over a few years' time because of commonalities. And but so well enough to know they care about their reputation. They're not going to be jerks to you, right? But not well enough that I'm like we're calling each other up going, so how was it, you know?
Yeah. Actually, it was the first 2 meet and greets that I felt super nervous for. Maybe the third one was, I wasn't nervous because as soon as I saw the person, I just had a little sense of ease.
Yeah, neat.
Yeah, I don't know. But even just talking about this, I'm getting a little bit of this anxious feeling. It's interesting. Now I will just be aware.
Is it anxious about you shouldn't be talking about this out loud? Or is it
so? I don't think
about
so.
You want certain things to go a certain way and you're scared they will or won't?
No, I think it's just, well, I don't know if I need to know. It's probably though, because, well, if I go by what I said at the beginning where the spiritual teacher says something happens and then there's a belief system and then there's a somatic response. So I always think that it's the somatic response that comes first, but I think the belief system is I need to be perfect in order for somebody to remain interested in me. Wow. And so when I'm first starting to go out with them, I mean, it took a whole little while longer to get myself gussied up. But I do, I feel like there's a bit of extra anxiety because, there's a little
There's pressure.
There's a bit of pressure. Not external.
No.
Just internally.
Yeah, it's learned. That learned behavior, that pressure that, I better be good enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, oh man, oh man. I've loved observing this because I feel like I've learned so much observing you, and it does make me feel like I could go online dating again, and that maybe there's hope for me to meet someone someday, but I sure don't want to right now. Like I'm just so not now.
So what is it that you've observed that has made you feel that maybe you could do it again?
I think watching you be so discerning, but also like, yeah, like, well, we were just saying today, so I feel like a lot of my life I was kind of more of an instant gratification kind of person.
Okay.
And that over the years I've become more present to being okay in that middle ground song from my show. But like even hiking, like when I was younger, as soon as I'd start breathing heavy, I felt wrong and I'd get freaked out and scared and I'd feel like I couldn't exist in that hard work stage.
Okay.
So the fact that I can hike for long periods of time and be breathing heavy, and the fact that I'm gardening now and I'm like learning, like recognizing or dealing with my kids and the things they're challenged by, and recognizing that nothing has to be fixed tomorrow. Like,
Yeah.
and so I think that I think that's what I see. I think you're different than I have been in the past. You are seeing the investment and the time. Well, not the time, but the investment of taking time and getting to know. And like you don't seem to be you don't seem to be either freaked out or manic, or like in a crazy place of, oh, I'm having so fun and I'm eating it. Like,
no, I mean, I think there are times when I'm like, whoa, I got to take a step back. Like when I was talking to multiple people, that was a little bit stressful. That felt like a little bit much to me, to be honest.
I've been there, yeah.
And I don't find that particularly exciting. I find it stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need a snack break.
Okay. Anyway, so we have a comment. This is AJ from Michigan. Lots of good topics covered. I think your closing thoughts on love bombing are right on. That we are all that person and want that to be our life story. Also, we are always growing and changing is such a truth. And even in a committed relationship, the needs of every person constantly evolve.
Okay. That last comment is what grabs me, because we've been talking about being single, and then and I think we said in the last episode, married people, what is your take on all the things that we talked about? So yeah, we can't assume, and I'm sure you don't, Margaret, but once people get married, that then they're still going to have a lot of challenges, different ones, very different, but we may not have covered them, or maybe we have. Maybe a lot of the things we've talked about are exactly the same for married people. I don't know.
Are you what what you're saying, that when people are first meet and are getting to know each other and getting married, they have this commonality and this common goal that creates a sense of congruency and compatibility. And I think in long-term committed relationships, interests evolve and shift and change. And so, I think that's the hard part, is that, someone will grow in a different way than the other, and they can grow apart. And then how do they come back together? Because so-and-so decides to go back to school.
Yeah.
And now that common, like the things they were commonly doing, maybe whatever they were, they don't have the same time for that anymore. And what brings them together? And now the other person is meeting people in their classes, or
that's a good,
or so-and-so gets a new job. Like there's so many examples of it. And I think that the great challenge of relationship, and that I think that what I really struggle with, is that I don't know if I truly am growing and learning, but I believe I am. And I feel like I'm constantly shifting, and things that were working in a relationship don't work anymore. Like, And I don't know if
Yeah.
it's because I'm evolving or because I'm getting to know myself and realizing I can't, I'm not evolved. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But the point is, the longer you're with someone, you have to be able to ebb and flow together and have that flexibility and malleability. And yet, what's the opposite of malleability and flexibility? You have to have like a really solid base and foundation. So like I'm thinking of the example of, I know skyscrapers.
Oh yeah, they move.
They move, even though they look so rigid. And it's kind of that thing, like you got to be ready for the heavy winds and storms that come in, because, when your partner suddenly has, chemotherapy treatments and all this stuff, or some unexpected injuries or whatever, and everything's just suddenly different.
I've yet to find a guy who thinks this is a good idea, but I know I've mentioned it to other partners and they're just like, oh God. But I think it would be great to have like a daily check-in.
Yeah.
Like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Because I think the only way you can know and be on top of these things is to be communicating on purpose, though. Like,
yes. Yeah. Intentionally.
Yeah, intentionally.
And I would say 2 to 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's like, got anything? Nah. Got anything? Nah.
Yeah.
But, well, maybe 2 isn't fair. I think people do need to share what's happening in their day.
Yeah. Like, it's an intentional, let's sit down and share. And then also maybe anything that has been bothering you or that you need, or what do you need from me? Is there anything else you need from me based on how we were together today or something?
Yeah.
I don't know. And I know it sounds like a freaking drag, but
I don't think it does. I mean,
but I've never met a guy who doesn't think it sounds like a drag.
Yeah. It's not to me that it sounds like a drag, but just what I don't know, because I did not stay married long enough, I don't think. But the people I know that have been in very long-term relationships where, life gets very consuming and you get very, very, very busy, and it's easy to schedule yourself to a point where the check-in just feels unrealistic.
Yeah.
And, it's so easy at the beginning of the relationship to think, yeah, of course we'd want to invest in 10 minutes a day. Yeah. But I know busy families with young children, and they're just like, by the time it's time for check-in, I'm exhausted.
But what about at this age? So this
yeah,
age,
yeah,
maybe
absolutely.
We have older children, yeah.
Well, I'd like to think that at the stage you're at now, in a way, like, on one hand, the challenge is that you're not investing in anything together, but that's also what liberates it. Like, that allows you to go, hey, we're investing just in being together, which means check-ins, which means learning to communicate, which means reading books together so we can speak the same language. Like, before we start bickering and arguing, let's do it in the early stages, and I think that is something that I can speak to Jim and I, because we were older when we met, and because I had like pretty good toolbox and Jim had his own toolbox from his experience. We did set pretty good foundations, and it did make me feel like, wow, this is possible when you're both on the same page, And yet we're still not together.
Well,
woohoo! Yeah. But it wasn't because we couldn't communicate.
Hey, I just want to, I want to say, but who knows? Maybe people do invest in, even if they're older. Maybe eventually, maybe in 5 years, they decide they're going to live together, or maybe they decide so there could be a mutual.
Absolutely,
investment.
There's absolutely investing. Sorry, that was my quick way of saying, you're not blinded by the desire to make kids and to build a life. Like, it's just so different in your early 20s or late 20s, early 30s, where you're just at the starting gate.
Yeah.
But absolutely, no, I think that there is investment. There's absolutely investment. In fact, the cool thing about being older is the relationship becomes the investment. And perhaps, yes, we buy homes together, or, we have literal investments.
Yeah.
That's totally cool. And I mean, that should happen. I mean, when people get married, that's what getting married, that is a part of getting married.
Yeah.
It's having, all those kinds of things, I hope.
Yeah.
But you know what? You have to go teach.
Yeah, I gotta go.
And this has been a fun conversation.
Yeah.
Thanks, Angie.
Thank you.
Have a great day. And Angela's going on. Ange has her third date with someone tonight. So the next time we chat, we'll see. Is she still seeing the third date guy?
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Okay, well, there you have it. Thank you for listening. As I edit this, I just want to interject that gaslighting can only happen when it's a really trusted person that you've sort of opened and shared your deepest, darkest with. So yeah, what are your comments? Please send us them. And once again, thank you, Stephen Morton, for your beautiful artwork.